A2V podcast.
Podcast?
I'm your host, Alastor, the radio demon, and this is my contractually obligated co-star, Vox.
Don't I get an epithet?
What do they call you these days, darling? Washed? Defunct? Rejected?
Oh, big talk from the has-been! Everyone's been living their best deaths under the assumption you fucked the wrong end of an angelic spear in the first extermination. But I knew better, of course. If there's one thing the radio demon avoids like the plague, it's getting fucked!
Quite. Before we start, I must say I'm astounded at the reception of our first episode. Thank you so kindly for your love and adoration. Though, please temper your praise for my co-host as his head is big enough already.
36 inches and hard as thermoplastic polymer.
I already regret everything.
Oh, what's the matter? Postcast clarity hitting you hard?
In a manner of speaking, though not the grotesque one you've adopted, what happened to that sweet little pup from the 50s?
You killed him.
If you say so.
Anyway, Al, can I ask you for a favor?
No.
Please send my regards to little Miss Morningstar for the tremendous mess she made out of Valsat yesterday.
From my perspective, an interruption to your filming schedule sounds quite bad for you. Why the thanks?
Because after she pissed off Valentina, the fucker went ahead and made it my problem.
Oh?
He stormed into my office, tore my out of my with his teeth, and my right there on my desk before he in my boy. Stop it! Stop beeping me!
It is a long-standing radio tradition to censor profanity, dear. And the watershed hasn't lifted yet.
Profundity, in my opinion. I had to send the deerskin rug in my study off to the dry cleaners. Also, by the way, can I bum a smoke? My straights got soaked.
Here. Can we please talk about literally anything else?
Sure, if you keep your finger off the censor button. What's on your mind?
The weather, of course.
That's literally the most boring fucking thing you could have ever said.
It's radio tradition, dear. How could anyone hope to start their day without a forecast?
Alright, fine. What's the weather, Al?
It's a blistering 140 with a steady breeze on the sticks, making it feel like a relatively cool 120. Precipitation 0% across most of the city. Save a small sprinkling of blood expected in Cannibal Town this afternoon. Frankly, I'm starved.
Want some news to compliment your weather?
Actually, it's traffic first.
What's the traffic then?
Bad.
That's it?
Yes, you can do your newsy bit no one cares about now.
Okay, well, there's a furry convention in West Pentagram this weekend.
Are you a furry, Vox?
No.
If you were...
A shark.
Well, I'd be an alligator.
But you're a deer.
So, I want to be an alligator. That's the beauty of make-believe, Vox. For a weekend, you can pretend to be something different from the wretched. And sometimes fluffy things. Which you can never, ever, ever change.
Isn't change the whole point of your #holiday home?
Oh, I'm sorry I didn't realize the world capitulated to the whimsical dreams of overachieving, anxiety-ridden blonde women.
Fair enough. Maybe she has a little chip on her shoulder. But, on the other hand, would you want to?
Want to, what, be a furry?
Sure.
I think I technically already am, truth be told.
So they are ears, and not hair?
Maybe.
And the tail?
None your business.
Whatever. Are you going to the convention then, furry?
If I'm in the area and feeling a bit ish. Perhaps I'll pop in for a chicken or swine.
You won't find any chickens at a furry convention. You'd be a cute, fluffy deer in a sea of hellhound sonas.
I said I'd be an alligator.
What's with you and alligators?
Why, they're very nostalgic to me. I so loved the quiet, understated beauty of the bayou we called home. They made worthy friends whenever I needed an alternative explanation for a sudden disappearance. Plus, they have fantastic smiles.
Cold-blooded, man-eating, smiling swamp monsters. Why aren't you an alligator?
Divine punishment? Probably. Nothing in this world makes much sense. Why are you a television?
I don't know. I was on the news a couple of times, I guess.
Only feel-good stories, right? Never mind, I don't actually care. If the convention is to be patronized by sinners who act like dogs, will you be attending, Vox?
Hell fucking no!
Is there any alter ego of yours attending?
Fuck you.
Fuck you! I have a bone to pick with you, actually.
Forward. But if you have lube on you.
Shut up and put your pants back on. I'm talking about the way you left the hotel yesterday, skipping down the stairs, grinning from vent to vent, like a hellcat who got the gin. The looks I received at the bar last night were so dirty, I honestly considered the ridiculous notion of taking a shower.
You don't shower?
What about it? Bacteria can't survive down here, but anyway. My point is, when you leave my studio, you must sneak out of the hotel's back door, or down a telephone line.
Like your dirty little secret?
Precisely, a secret. If my coworkers learn this is a regular thing, I'd be even more of a pariah than I am already.
Ha ha! Locked away in the highest room of the tallest radio tower. You expect a knight in shining armor to rescue you from your boredom, then just fuck off at your latest convenience?
Precisely.
If you're so ashamed of me, princess, then that's your problem and not mine.
Please, Vox, I can't take another condescending lecture by the girls in angel dust.
Fucking angel dust.
On the cycles of toxic relationships, we're not even friends.
If we're not friends, then what are we?
At the moment, I consider us business with benefits.
Oh, what's the benefit?
That I don't obliterate you the moment you leave this room.
Aha. Thanks for the 5-minute head start, I suppose. I'll make a memo about your request.
Why, thank you.
Let's take a break, shall we? Wanna get a coffee?
Black, no sugar.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's open the lines to our lovely listeners.
Any fan mail?
It's only been one day, Vox.
Well, I have my own question.
Yes?
The furry thing earlier got me curious.
Watershed, Vox.
It's not an inappropriate question. I was just wondering if you've been to any other sort of convention before.
Of course I have. I take the train down to Hollywood for their vintage radio convention every year.
I've changed my mind. That's literally the most boring fucking thing you could have said.
It's no different than a convention for vintage cars or televisions.
You can ride a vintage car or television. You can't ride a radio. Trust me. I've tried.
What was that?
Nothing.
Well, how about I take you down to the convention sometime, and you can finally get your concupiscent claws around some vintage vacuum tubes.
You know, you could show me a vintage vacuum tube right now.
Not a chance in hell, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, yours is broken anyway. So I heard.
Who told you that?
Rosie.
Why do you ever have to speak with Rosie?
What? Do you think my sharks are grass-fed?
All right, fair point, but never mind that. My thermionic valve is wired correctly. It's not my fault no one other than me can get the filament hot.
Well, mine certainly are.
Go fuck yourself, Fox.
No thanks, it's not your privilege. Wouldn't want to intrude on your field of expertise.
Careful, or I will gut you like the fish you wish you were.
Not helping, honestly.
For context, listeners, I'm what's considered an anode, and Vox is a biode.
Actually, I identify as a bipolar semiconductor transistor now.
There's always so many new inventions in the field of electrochemistry, it's impossible to keep up with it all.
Well, you could pick up an updated book during Electrode Positivity Month in June.
I might. I mainly celebrate Electrode Negativity Week, and that is until October.
Good thing opposites attract, isn't it?
No. We'd short-circuit all of Pentagram City again if we don't keep it insulated.
Such a buzzkill.
Well, I have to keep you grounded one way or another. Looks as though no one's calling in this episode. I'll close the lines.
So, Alastor, tell me, have you ever wondered where hell really is?
I know you've had your precious little head knocked around more times than either of us could count, but where hell is has never been in question.
Well, where are we then?
Deep, deep, deep under the earth. Obviously.
So you're a cracked Earth conspiracy theorist?
It's not a conspiracy, it's literally written in the Bible.
You're not an alligator or a deer. You're a sheep!
Oh, someone fucking shoot me again.
If hell is on Earth, where are the sides of the hole, smartass? Wouldn't we see the sides?
It's a very large hole. The sides are very far away.
If it's so big, wouldn't the oceans fall into the crack and evaporate? Or flood us out?
My beloved New Orleans is below sea level. Maybe there's some international levee of some sort to keep the oceans up.
That's just fucking stupid.
Do you have a better idea?
I do, actually.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Can we please save this conversation for the After Dark show when I'm already down half a bottle of bourbon?
All right, let's circle back to this later.
You do so love to circle things, don't you, Shark Boy?
Yeah, I do. And speaking of which, I've finally internalized that little memo you asked earlier.
Oh dear.
I just don't want you to be ashamed of me.
Please don't start crying in my studio, dear. My equipment isn't adjusted to salt water the way yours is.
I'm not crying! I'm just... If we're going to be partners and raise this podcast baby together, I need to know you respect me enough to tell your shitty co-workers that I'm just gonna be here under truce for an hour a day, and sometimes after dark.
Well, I don't respect you at all, so we're at an impasse.
Fine, but if they don't know that we're doing a podcast, they're just going to think that we're... that we're, you know, just...
Claws off that. You've made your point. Disgusting. I thought those looks at the bar last night were just for fraternizing with the enemy. To think they think so low of me that I would with the likes of you.
Aw, don't you start crying. Just tell them about the podcast, brah. They know you're a prude. They won't get the wrong idea. I promise.
Thank you, Fox.
Aw, is your tail wagging?
Fuck all the way off.
Oh, I love how you only curse so much around me.
You shouldn't be proud of that, but I'm serious. It's getting close to noon.
True, and I have some actually important things to do today. See you later for the After Dark recording.
If I absolutely have to.
You did shake on it, and I'm excited to drink with you for the first time in, well, forever.
Before we go, shouldn't we say thanks and plug the sponsor?
Fine. Radio tradition and whatever.
You have a sugar daddy to thank this morning.
Oh, fuck. Yeah?
Here.
A huge thank you to Decepticon. I'll make you proud, Daddy. Or Mommy. Or gender nondescript caregiver.
Titillating.
Gotta treat our patrons right, babe.
If they're getting an entire extra episode, what more could they want?
You and me shirtless in a bathtub?
No.
To all our lovely and faithful viewers, if you'd like to help keep me and my bratty co-star high on caffeine this month, check the link in the description. Pledging even just $1.50 to the project allows you to submit a letter or phone call to the podcast, which may or may not be read or played on air.
At least pretend to be interesting.
Stop it! How the hell did you even earn your first fortune being so mean to the fans?
I had real sponsorship, none of this crowdfunding, hoo-ha.
Well, times have changed, so get with the program.
Thank you for your continued support, listeners. If you can't afford a pledge, I'm told a like and subscribe does wonders for us, whatever that's supposed to mean.
And check out our Patreon-only episode of Under the Sinfluence, releasing after we recorded it, I suppose.
See you there, puppets.
Bye!
Don't try to get the last word in, darling. It's embarrassing.
You're embarrassing.
No,
You times infinity. But wait, there's more, faithful viewers. Don't touch that dial, because we have a sneak peek of our Patreon exclusive Under the Sinfluence coming up right now. Please let the record show that Alastor brought up fucking on the desk first. Come on, I wouldn't drug you in the first episode.
Men only want one thing.
Tentacle hentai!
Don't think too hard about the things we cannot change, my little picture box.
It's a summoning circle to send all of Earth's sinners to Jupiter!
Sometimes you say things so deranged, it's not even funny anymore. Truth be told, I didn't think I'd end up in your lab this soon. I'm honestly disappointed in myself.